Hello explorers! Today I wanted to talk about the topic of fear. A lot of us are plagued with fear in our lives, and it's something that we think about daily. Whether it's something like our careers, our relationships, or simply the dreams that we have, fear is often something that plagues our lives. The three things that come to mind when talking about fear is criticism, judgment, and failure. Those are the three things that I think about the most, and I know a lot of people around me do as well. Judgment. When realizing that we fear judgment, we think that people are always watching us and that we are in this little microscope and people are judging every single move that we make, the things we say, or the things we do. And this is something that's very difficult to get rid of, the overwhelming, looming feeling of judgment. But something I realized over these past few weeks is that we are all in our own spotlights. And what that means is that if we are all in our own spotlights, we are also focused of the things happening in our own lives that we really don't have that much time or energy to be focusing on other people's lives as well. It's something that took me a little while to learn, but I realized that once it set in, I stopped worrying so much about people's judgment like I used to before. Criticism. Criticism is something very similar to judgment, but I think where it differs is that sometimes criticism can be said very verbally to you, or it can be said in a very indirect way. When people criticize others, they're often unhappy in their own lives. That's something that I've taken the time to learn as well. It's sad to think that we like to criticize others because it makes us feel better about ourselves. But the truth is that the less we do it and the less we listen to it, the happier we are. So as a good example for myself, the moment I stopped thinking about what the criticism would be for other people in regards to the things I'm doing, I stopped worrying about it so much that I felt liberated, and hopefully you can too. Failure. The fear of failure is something that so many of us experience in our lives. Whether it's something as small as taking tests, or landing a big job, or simply trying to make your dreams happen and thinking that they might not because of fear of failure, is something that many of us think about all the time. For instance, for me, I was so afraid of starting these short format videos on YouTube and really having a consistent video schedule that I'd rather not have done it at all. But this is something that I would eventually feel like I would regret for the rest of my life. So I decided to just venture in without any fear and try to do it myself. I think with fear of failure, so many of us are limited and held back, and we actually hold ourselves back because we are our own worst critic, we are our own worst enemy, and many of the times we feel like failure will always be looming behind us. But the moment you liberate yourself from that feeling, from that way of life, so many opportunities open up. And it just takes a very, very positive-minded person like you to have the courage and the bravery to pursue what they want without the fear, judgment, and criticism of anyone else. Hopefully this video helped you in some way to realize that we are not alone and that we always have a community of people that we can share these things with. And don't be afraid to do something you really want to do without judgment, criticism, and the fear of failure holding you back. Goodbye, explorers.
Please make sure to subscribe and click on the little bell button to receive any notifications when new videos are posted. Please also visit a Pear Life website. I will be posting the link with also the social media links down below. If you subscribe to the mailing list, you will be notified of new posts. Goodbye, explorers!